It starts with the demonic laughter and the sound of bells. That's usually what signals the airways. This time the sentry sent a charge down the line. Quickly as possible I get my gas mask on. Those green-clad buggers are too low to the ground for the Gatling guns to properly mow down, so we have to use chlorine gas. The sick elves hide in bodies of the fallen, ungodly creatures. The bells always foreshadow a bombing raid. The reindeer, the jingling of death from above. We'll have to clear no man's land before we can take cover. There's a race against time and the forces of Christmas. What a sick name for such ungodly heathens. The self-proclaimed Saint Nicholas wages war on all Christendom every year. His elves descend from the North Pole to invade all lands. Before it used to be just in December, and now they show up as early as October. We usually be back by January, but have an uneventful time to prepare between then and next October. The ungodly fat man who dwells in the North Pole, a barren desert with nothing but ice, not unlike his cruel heart. So many times have we tried to take the fight to him, like Napoleon in the Russian winter. So too are we halted by the elements more than his forces. His manufacturing plants concealed by snow and weather. We came close in 1918, but once again we were beaten back. I was first drafted in 1913, when Christmas came to Scotland. Edinburgh found the wreaths of death littered on the streets and flaming mistletoe, dropped by sadistic reindeer to burn wooden buildings to the ground. Saint Nick had come to Scotland, bringing death and famine to all those good souls. Boys and girls awoke to coal and ash and soot. My own family claimed by the flames. I had been away on holiday, but when I heard the news... By 1915, every able-bodied man had been drafted, and by 1918 there wasn't a man, woman, or child in the whole of Europe who was not conscripted in some fashion to fight against the hordes. In Germany and Scandinavia, in the Norwegian areas, they call him Santa. They say at his beck and call are 6 to 8 Asian militiamen turned mercenary. They are his personal bodyguard and war advisor. I heard that the head of his cabinet is a Haitian commander who they only know as Pete. Whether or not they exist is pure speculation, but we know so little about the Christmas command structure that it might as well be fact. The Council of Europe was deemed inadequate to handle the multi-front war, so a new organization was formed, the League of Nations, the first to join with the usual imperial powers, Germany, France, Spain, Sweden, and the rest. And Russia and Turkey joined in when they too heard the bells of the reindeer. Putting aside past aggressions, Imperial Japan, Korea, and China joined the war as well. Mexico and Brazil have also pledged soldiers. The United States, however, is refusing to join the League. They claim it would impede their splendid isolation policy. Let the treacherous Yankees suffer the woes of Christmas, for we shall not come to the raid when Santa and his elves punish their cities and farmlands. Once fears of war with the German Empire were ever present, but when the forces of Christmas took Berlin, even the Kaiser had to join the war on Christmas. When I welcomed the new German troops, I had the most unpleasant experience with one of their officers. The man would fly off the handle at the slightest bit of insult to his delicate sensibilities. Would not shut up about how such a disgrace it was for proud Austrians to have to share the trenches with British troops. I am ashamed to admit I took relief when a wayward shell claimed his life, and some sadistic joy in his unceremonious burial in mass grave. Corporal Hitler was a most unpleasant and honest man indeed. I have been entrenched off Stockholm. We're planning a siege to reclaim Helsinki, but we're waiting for the Russian troops to amass in St. Petersburg before we can perform a pincer maneuver. So as I bide my time in the Swedish cold and began to perform rigorous training in what might be the single greatest siege in military history, the unthinkable happens. Santa's Claus, they called it, a preemptive invasion of the Swedish capital. We managed to reclaim the city, but in no time my division is being sent out to clear the coast. Beach by beach, we begin the trench warfare anew. I fix my bayonet in preparation of a charge that's soon to come, and we will be storming across no man's land after tomorrow's gas attack. Our commanders have decided tomorrow, December 24th, in the year of our Lord 1921, is the final purge of Christmas from southern Sweden. I write these final entries knowing very well I might, no, will most likely perish in the days to come. His fiendish elves make up the numbers what they lack in cunning, and his reindeer use the devil's prowess to evade our planes and dogfights. Our once greatest pilot, whom I only know as the Red Baron, died taking the North Pole in the Battle of 1918. Hard to believe it was a mere 3 years ago. Every day has been a lifetime since, and our desperation is showing. I hear dreadful things about a new superatomic weapon, a bomb to end all bombs. Some call it the atom bomb, others call it the Tsar bomb. The greatest minds are at work, Einstein, Heisenberg, the finest the German Empire has to offer, and stranger still are the rumors of the occult actions against Christmas, macabre tales of officers and scientists whispered in hushed voices in the dark. They say Aleister Crowley, Gerald Gardner, and Grigory Rasputin are all rumored to be a part of it, and they are allegedly trying to summon the being unequal to that of Saint Nicholas. Some people say they call it Project Krampus. It's rumors like that that paint a dark picture of the future of humanity. Perhaps one day, when all this madness ends, if it ever ends, we will use our newfound unity to make a better world. A world of abundance and plenty, one where December is a time of joy and not death and war. An age of peace on earth and goodwill towards man. One can dream, can't he?